What's going on, guys? It's your boy Stephen Baker, and today I'm going to go over the home gym essentials, the essential equipment for building that home gym. So, before we get into it, I want to go over the essential movements in the gym. And you probably already know this, but just to kind of like preface for the video, I'm going to go over it anyway. So, your bench, your squat, your deadlift, your pull ups, and your dips. And these are going to be incorporated into building your home gym because a lot of the equipment you're going to be getting is going to be kind of catering to these exercises. So the first and probably most essential piece of equipment for a home gym is a squat rack with an adjustable bench. And the reason I say this is that you guys probably have seen this a lot at like actual gyms, like at like commercial and private gyms. But with the squat rack, not only are you getting squat, but if you adjust the squat rack and you put the bench underneath it, you can do bench press. And because you have an adjustable bench, you can do incline bench press. You also can adjust the squat rack to do military press. And because you have an adjustable bench, you can even adjust the bench and the squat rack to do seated military press if you wanted to. So this is very, very, very beneficial because you're hitting so many birds with just one stone. The other nice thing about this is if you don't already have a pull-up bar at your house, a lot of these squat racks come with a pull-up bar attached to it with multiple grips for the pull-ups too. And if you can't find a squat rack with the pull-up bar attached, which I think would be hard to do because I think almost all of them come with them. But if you can't for some whatever reason, you can go to Walmart and get a make-it-yourself one. It's cheap, just put it on the door frame. Almost everyone has those. You guys probably already have one. I mean, people who don't even go to the gym have those just to have them up. But the squat rack is extremely essential, and the pull-up bar is too. Try and get one with a pull-up bar. If you have the room and can afford it, I would definitely recommend this with the adjustable bench. Definitely a great buy. The second essential piece of equipment is very obvious, but I want to reiterate it because I want to expand upon it. An Olympic barbell. And I say Olympic barbell because you're thinking, oh, well, everyone should know that. Yeah, what would I lift with? You don't know how many beginners I know who come and build their home gym and get a 15-pound bar. And I was one of them. And I got a 15-pound bar because I didn't have space in my basement at the time. And if you don't have space or you can't afford it, that's fine. Do what you got to do. Like you work with what you got. You know what I mean? But if you can afford it and you have the space, get the Olympic 45-pound bar. And the reason I say this is, one, it's the real bar. So say no more, basically. But not only that, when you progress in the gym and you really want to progressively overload to build that muscle, a 15-pound bar is not going to be able to hold all that weight. And it doesn't take much to basically bench more than a 15-pound bar can hold. Like, you don't have to be Ronnie Coleman to do that. So I would definitely recommend getting the 45-pound bar. I know it's obvious, but I've seen a lot of people make that mistake, not just me. And for me, I wanted a 45-pound bar. It was just space. I know a lot of people who get a 15-pound bar are like, well, I can't handle all that weight just right now. If you can't even bench 45 pounds, I would recommend literally, or you're struggling, like, that's fine. But I would still get an Olympic bar, like, just to have it there for when you can bench it. Or just practice with the 45 pounder. If that's like all you can do right now, like, just bench the bar. And almost everyone out there can bench the bar. You know what I mean? Maybe not everybody, and I don't want to shame anybody who can't, but a lot of people probably can bench the bar. You know what I mean? Especially people who are already kind of in the gym. I'm going to make a safe assumption. You know what I mean? Anyone watching this video definitely can bench the bar probably. And if you can't, it's all good. In the case you can't, it's all good. You're going to get there, bro. Or sis, whatever you are, girl or guy. But an Olympic bar, that is extremely important. The next thing I'll say is a dip bar. And this is a little bit more unique. I feel like a lot of people have dip bars in their home gym, but I feel like sometimes people forget about this. I always say the dip is the upper body squat. It incorporates so much. It really just helps me put on mass. I'll probably make another video just about how essential dips are. Or, maybe like an upper body essential video, or just some video expanding on why I like dips so much. How about that? But really try and get a dip bar if you can. I know there are pull-up bar, dip bar, kind of like combo type machines, which are really, really good. You've probably seen this before at gyms. I also know that there's like attachment stuff for the squat racks, like the squat racks I was talking about earlier, there's some that have like these little clips and you can like attach the dip bar onto them. That's really nice. That I think is a little bit harder to find though. But I would really, really strongly encourage getting a dip bar if you can. Really try and get a dip bar. You can also do dips with just two chairs. But what I'll say is that when you progress with dips, you want to start doing weighted dips. Sometimes it's a little harder to do, especially with the chairs. Sometimes the chairs may break. You know, so I would recommend getting a dip bar if you can, but I think a dip bar is definitely essential. And if you can afford one, you have the space for it, you can make it work, definitely get a dip bar. The next thing I'll say is an easy bar or a barbell. This is where the 15-pound barbell is important. I do think you should get one, but I think you need a 45-pound one for the compounds. Because, when you do your deadlift and whatnot, and your squat and your bench, you need the 45-pounder. But I think you need the 15-pounder for your curls, your skull crushers, your tricep extensions, or 25-pounder, whatever bar you want. But get a barbell to curl, because the reality is that you're not going to be doing skull crushers and curls with the Olympic bar. I mean, sometimes people will do it with the Olympic bar by the squat rack, but that's kind of frowned upon in the gym. And also, it's like when you're really, really desperate, you get the Olympic bar and curl. You know what I mean? Like when you're really, really desperate, that's when you start doing that. I recommend getting an easy bar and curling with that and using that for your skull crushers, your curls, and your tricep extensions. Also, getting back to the squat rack, I kind of forgot this earlier. If you can, get a mat, because you can also use the 45-pound bar to do deadlifts with. That way you can do deadlifts. Try and get a mat, or for your garage or basement or whatever. Or if like the ground you have your home gym on is like fine with getting slammed, then perfect. But maybe try and get a mat just for like deadlifting, or like a little platform. You can get like cheap mats at like I think like Costco and stuff like that, and like those are pretty beneficial. I think that those themselves work. So I would definitely invest in one of those. But getting back to the barbell, it's important to have that barbell, even if it's just a straight barbell, just to kind of do your isolation movements, mainly for arms, to be honest. But it's important to have that for your curls, your reverse curls, your all that good stuff. Tricep extensions, skull crushers, like I already said. You know what I mean? The next thing would be dumbbells. Dumbbells are extremely essential. Because dumbbells really, like, you can work your whole body with a pair of dumbbells. If you can't afford anything on this list, but you can afford a pair of dumbbells, get a pair of dumbbells, because you can work every body part with just a pair of dumbbells. You can do you can hit every muscle with them. They're super beneficial, and you can carry them around and whatnot. If you can afford a whole dumbbell set, like going from 10 to like 85, or like, if you can do 110 or something, that's crazy. But like, just a barbell set, I think a lot of them go to like 75 or whatnot for like the home gyms. I mean, not for the gyms, obviously. If you can afford that, that's incredible. And you have the space for it. Definitely. That's really cool. But if you can't, one thing I did was I got the adjustable weight dumbbells. They're a little bit easier to transport, they save you space. With the money, I don't really know how it converts, because you need to buy more weights to put on the dumbbell, but it is a dumbbell. You're not going to be like curling as much as you bench, obviously. So, but I recommend those. They're really, really good. The only problem with them is it's such a pain to adjust the weight and put the weights on and off, but that is part of the gym. But that is a downfall of the adjustable dumbbell. Whereas, the dumbbell sets, you just grab it on their weight. You don't need to adjust it all. But the dumbbells, for sure, extremely important and extremely essential. Definitely invest in the dumbbells if you can, if you have the space. And then last but not least, this might be a little bit unorthodox. You guys might laugh, and you probably already all have them already, but bands. And the reason why I say bands for a home gym is because they're a great way to get a contraction and burn out at the end of your workout. Like, just if you need to burn out, they're a great way for that, especially with smaller body parts like the arms, like the tricep and bicep. The other thing I'll say is that you can easily make a at-home tricep rope pushdown. It's great if you can have a tricep rope pushdown in your home gym. Amazing, but a lot of people can't afford that, and a lot of people don't have the space for that. So, excuse me, by the way, if you just put that band over some sort of bar or anything, you can do a tricep rope pushdown. And, it's not as good as a normal rope pushdown, because you're not getting as much contraction both ways. You kind of only get it pressing down, not going on the way up. But you still get a good contraction if you do a lot of reps, and it's a great exercise overall, and it's a great way to finish your tricep day doing at your home gym. With the equipment, I'm assuming you get all the equipment I just said, which you might not, but let's just assume a great tricep day would be close grip bench, skull crushers, tricep extensions, and then finish with a little band rope push down. Burn yourself out. It's a great tool to burn yourself out at the end of your workout, especially considering if you're working out at your house. So I highly recommend getting just a pair of bands, and you can progressively overload with the reps or just the upping the band resistance. And they don't tend to be that expensive. The cheaper ones do tend to snap more, but they're not crazy expensive. I know that nowadays there's more like kind of, I guess, fancier ones that are more cheap. I mean, more expensive, but you can get a very cheap pair at just like a Dick's Sporting Goods or whatnot. But those are the home gym essentials. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.